Hey, this is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel. Now, who's ready for some fighting words? In this video, I want to talk about Jermall Charlo. So as of recently, I'm hearing that the Selesky fight is kind of off the table, or they're ironing out some things. Maybe it's done completely. However, Jermall Charlo is saying that he wants the winner of Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G3. Now, the whole thing with Jermall Charlo, I don't know. I'm gonna say it like this. I don't feel as if his drive and his resolve is the same as his brother's. He just seems kind of wishy-washy at times. I don't know why he would be clamoring for the winner of this fight. I mean, I understand financially why he would be clamoring for the winner of this fight. But there's just other people out there that he could fight. I mean, why are you doing this? I mean, honestly, it's just like you're begging, and you're begging for something that's not going to happen for a while. So you're willing to put yourself on the shelf, and technically your career as well. You know, I don't think it's a smart move. I don't think it's a smart business move, because you've been calling out Triple G for years, and he's never even looked at you, nonetheless responded to you, or even reached out to you. The same thing when it comes to Canelo Alvarez. There have been rumors that, offers were placed to Canelo Alvarez, in which case he turned it down. And there were rumors that Canelo Alvarez sent out an offer to Charlo, in which case he turned it down. Now, somewhere in between all that is the truth. But the reality is, I don't think it's great for your career. I don't think it's great for his career. I don't think it's great for, I don't think it's great for the division either. Fight somebody else. Fight Jaime Munguia. Fight Joseph Benavidez, David Benavidez. Fight Caleb Plant. There's people out there to fight. Like, really, there are literally people out there to fight. Again, Demetrius Andrade. There's people out there to fight. I don't understand why you would say this again. I don't understand why you would say this again for a few reasons. One, because it hasn't worked in the past. Two, because Canelo flat out said he's not fighting any of you guys. You guys go ahead and figure it out, and he'll take the winner of whoever. Literally, the words out of his mouth. Three, I really don't get it, because, again, Triple G has never even, not even looked in your direction. And to be quite frank, I don't think at this stage in Triple G's career, whether he beats Canelo or not, I don't think he's going to fight you. I don't think he's going to want any part of you. I don't think he's going to want any part of David Benavidez. Caleb Plant moves too much for him. That wouldn't be a good look for him. So it's just like, what makes you think that he would, after going against Canelo for a third time, which, both fights were not easy, but for a third time, to go and face you? And shout out to Charlo's skills. That's the reason why I don't think it would happen. I feel like I don't feel as if he's as popular or has the same amount of notoriety as his brother at 154. But his brother at 154 is more active than he is. His brother at 154 is more exciting than he is. So if the roles were reversed, yeah, I believe it would catch Canelo's attention, or would catch Triple G's attention. But I do personally think, and I've always said this, that, the bigger Charlo is the more skilled of the two. Although I believe, the smaller Charlo, his last fight was a masterclass, to be honest, especially for him. But I always felt that the bigger Charlo was the more skilled of the two. And I just don't see Triple G moving forward thinking about Charlo. So you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. You have potential fights that are mega fights. They are. If Jermall Charlo fights David Benavidez, that's a mega fight. Everybody wants to see that. I would argue we, the fans, the consumers, would like to see that fight just as much as we'd want to see Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. I would argue that. I would argue we would want to see Demetrius Andrade fight Charlo just as much as Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. Give the people what they want. Don't give them a dream, or don't sell them a dream just because you're trying to get a payday. The payday will come if you are consistent. The payday will come if you are consistent. But to sit there and say, you know what, I'm going to bypass these guys and I'm going to go straight for that guy, You know, the guy that has ignored me every step of the way, the guy that has never even looked in my direction, the guy that doesn't even know my name, and then the other guy who's claiming that I ducked him. Those are the guys that I want. What makes you think you're getting those? You know, what kind of pampered personality do you have that you believe you're going to get those, either one of those fights after all these years? And again, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your career. You know, let's move on. And you can, honestly, if Charlo were to fight David Benavidez, I personally believe that would be a much bigger fight than Canelo Triple G3. It'd be a much bigger fight. There's a lot more at stake. You're talking about two guys who are completely in their prime. You're talking about two guys who have a lot more at stake. You're talking about two guys who could potentially get the money fight. Everything is there for the taking. Everything is there. And there's history between those two. They obviously don't like each other. I don't believe I've ever heard Charlo. Well, I mean, we've never heard Charlo say anything nice about anybody. Outside of Earl Spence, we've never heard the Charlo say anything nice about anybody. But especially David Benavidez. He's never said anything nice about David Benavidez. And vice versa. He's never said anything nice about Demetrius Andrade. And vice versa. You know, like, you got to be realistic. You got to be realistic. And I'm hearing that Billy Joe Saunders wants to get back in the game. Listen, fight Billy Joe Saunders. Because we all know he's going to sell this fight. He's definitely going to sell the fight. So fight Billy Joe Saunders. I wouldn't be mad at that. I think it's a fun fight. And I think it's a good way for him to get back in the mix. I don't believe overall that he would beat Charlo. But I think he would give him, I don't know if I would say like real competition, because he doesn't hit that hard. And if this is the new, you know, Billy Joe Saunders who isn't going to move, then I really don't know. But I'm just saying there's guys out there who we can fight. Jaime Munguia can come up and wait, which wouldn't be a problem. You know, like, I mean, honestly, there's just guys to fight. And I think it's ridiculous. As a consumer, I think this is ridiculous. And then if I were just a contender or a fighter in your division, I would say this is ridiculous. You keep clamoring and screaming for something that has not come. Let it go. At the same time, Caleb Plant is over here. Fight him. He needs to get back in the mix anyway. He lost to Canelo. So he needs to get back in the mix. Fight him. Why not? I'm desperately hoping that somebody will fight Demetrius Andrade so he can, walk across this fake street that supposedly exists. It's obvious nobody's going to call out Demetrius Andrade. No one's going to call him out, but no one's also going to call out David Benavidez. And Charlo loves to say that he could beat those guys and those guys aren't that good and yada, yada, yada. Well, hello, you have nothing but space and opportunity because it isn't like Canelo and Triple G are fighting tomorrow. So you're literally going to sit around and wait and then cross your fingers and your hands and hope that after the fight, whomever the winner may be, which I believe more than likely will probably be Canelo, but whomever the winner may be, will say your name. And if he doesn't, then what? You wasted a few months for nothing? And you're going to sit around and wait some more? Because I don't believe the Canelo-Dimitri Bivol story is over with. Listen, as a guy who loves Canelo, I hope it's over with, but I don't believe it's over with. So what happens if Canelo turns right back around and says, I'm going right back after Bivol? Then what? You've sat around for nothing. You've wasted your time for nothing. You're wasting your talent, more or less. That's literally what you're doing. You are athletes. You are wasting your talent. You are wasting your abilities because you're only getting older. You're only getting stiffer. You grow through fights. That's how you grow. That's how you get better. Yeah, you train, but there's nothing like a real fight. That's how you grow. And you're wasting this time, this precious time that you have, because just as a fighter in general, your window is so small. Take advantage of it. Call out David Benavidez. Call out Caleb Plant. Call out Demetrius Andrade. Call out Billy Joe Saunders. Call out these guys. Call out Jaime Munguia. Because he can move up in weight. I know a lot of people are like, why are you calling his name? Because he can move up in weight. That's why I'm calling his name. Call out these guys. Don't waste your time on Canelo and Triple G. It's literally a waste of time. But those are my thoughts. Drop your comments down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. As always, I need for you to please like, please share, and please subscribe to my channel.